Say, I am the greatest. Look at us, mama, we made it. I'm going in like I'm bathing. Yeah, they had a buzz, but we shaved it. They got me feeling like some gauges, cause I'm in the air with it, baby. Had to get away from being basic and work hard on a regular basis. I'ma let them talk till it's my time, and I ain't gon' say shit. Give them bars like cages, and they still got a few more cases. You can unplug from the matrix, then open your mind a little and see that it's fucking funny like a one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. It's Talking Riches. This is episode 3. You know, the one and only Miss Karen. You know, as I said it right?
Karen. Yep.
Yep. Karen. Yes. Thank you so much. And you know, thank you for coming. You know, and allowing me to be in your presence today, and being a blessing today too as well. And thank you for allowing yourself to be here on this Mother's Day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And so, you know, today, you know, my show, I like to talk about the foundation, the blueprint of who you are. And we're here in the beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. You see the beautiful water in the background. The beautiful dark-skinned ladies. So, you know, let us know who you are and your foundation.
So I would say my foundation is I grew up in a house with everybody living inside. So that means your cousins, your uncles, you know, your granny and everything. And that was just how it was. You know, when the parents didn't take the role of having their children, the grandparents stepped up. My mom was there because both of my grandparents were sick. They both passed of cancer. So my mama stepped in and she was the one taking care of them. My mom was the youngest of 14 kids. Yes, she's the baby, and I'm the only child. So yeah, it was a lot of people in the house. I grew up on Congress Street, right by the tennis court, across from the tennis court, next to the Citadel and Burke High School. So I wanted to be a bulldog, but I didn't get a chance to. My mom was like, hell to the no. But yeah, my grandmother retired from Charlestown Landing. She worked there for over 30 years, and my grandfather was a longshoreman. My mama was working at Roper, so she worked a lot of hours. So I was always with my grandparents. But my grandmother, being she worked at Charlestown Landing, and grandfather at Longshoreman, they were extensive and bent on making sure we were culture. So that means going to any festivals, Moja, the Greek Fest, it doesn't matter. We were there, and we had to be there because we had to learn how to be diverse, you know. So that's really my foundation, you know. Mother single parent by choice. She divorced my father, and I was raised that way.
Nice. You know, in Charleston, our Gullah culture, we have to learn specific things that results to a caring, loving, treating your neighbor, you know, as you want to be treated too as well. What are some things that your grandmother, your grandfather, and your mother instilled into you that you use today?
I would say forgiveness, patience, and hard work. Those things specifically, forgiving. My grandmother was a beautiful soul. She would take people in, like she would see somebody homeless and she have them sleeping in the den and she would feed them. Like that's just the type of person she was, no matter what somebody did to her in her past, anything. I remember coming home from school and my granny would have everybody at the table. Right. One day I walked in, my principal was there and I was like, and my mom was like, go in the room, mind your business, you know, like, I'm like, hold on, I don't like this, you know, like, you can't act up in school.
In trouble now.
Yeah, listen, you can't act up in school. But that's how she was, and she always believed in giving back to our community, and being that we were downtown, you know, the whole block was African American at that time. Right. So it was like everybody looked out for everybody. You know, you hungry? Hey, let me go take this food down the street. Right. Don't ask no questions. Just drop it off. Come back. You know. And that's just how it was. And then I would hard work. They all were hard working. My mama's even hard working. It was a time my mom was working 3 jobs. And I was like, why are you working all these jobs? You know. And she was like, oh, you know, so and so need help. And I was like, so and so, but so and so was just talking, you know, about you, like, and she was like, no, we just gonna forgive, you know, and it's just so crazy, you know. That's just how I was raised. Just make sure you love, you care, you forgive, and you just work hard, and everything will work out.
For someone who doesn't know how to, they want to learn how to forgive, right? But they don't know how to. What are some proper steps they can use to properly get into the forgiveness level?
I would say speaking your mind. I've always been a very vocal person, but when it comes down to stuff that really bothered me, I had to learn you have to speak about that. You have to address the elephant in the room, because people nowadays, they will expect you to do you wrong and then you go around quiet. No, you don't have to talk to that person after the fact, but you need to address the elephant in the room. So you need to at least let that person know what they did to you for them to offend you, and they understand. And then after that, the rest is on you. Because the person, they ain't gonna change.
Right.
A lot of people don't change, but the rest is on you. So you learn, and once you learn over time, you be like, okay, well, yeah, they did that, but hurt people. Misguided people misguide somebody else. Because how can I
never heard that one before.
So how can I expect you to be better when you didn't come from that? You know, even my relationship in the past, I was engaged, but I had to realize I couldn't be with someone who had mother issues because they couldn't understand the relationship me and my mother had, because we never had that. Just how I said, address the elephant in the room. My mom is big on that because she's in counseling now. So what she does is, if there's an issue, we gonna sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody gonna talk about it, and we gonna figure out what's wrong.
Right.
If you don't want to talk about it, write me a letter. She's all about mental health. A lot of people don't have that. It's about, I don't care, you know, you'll be okay, you know, or keep on moving. You have to address certain things. If not for you, you need to do it for your health. Because certain things like that, you hold on to that anger, that deteriorates you faster than any sickness. Because over time you're angry, you're bitter, you're knocking out opportunities in life because you're holding on to hate. And you can't move on if you in the past. You can't. There's no possible way, because every time you see another opportunity, you're gonna refer back to that where you came from, you know, regardless of what you do in life, whether it's work, anything. Because I've been a store manager, and I was really resentful to the general manager I had, because I was going through a lot of things at the time. COVID had just hit. I had a child who's, you know, artistic, and we had no help, you know. And then it was rioting down here, like it was crazy. And I was like, I gotta get home, you know, like I got my niece, I gotta get home. And she was like, well, you can't leave the store. And I was like, listen, I gotta make a tough decision. I said, I can see video footage of them on Johnson Street on the project shooting rubber bullets and throwing gas.
Right.
You know, I gotta go home. I'm a mother first. I gotta get my baby out there.
That's true.
Cause you never know. What if they kick in the door? You know, what will happen to my child? Then I gotta live with that. I chose money over my baby, and that's never an option. You know, the bag gonna come. What's meant for me is gonna be for me. Nobody can't take it away from me. And I was really hurt. And then when I got back to work, she was like, well, you know, this is not your time. This is not your clock. This is not your money. You know, so you can't do what you want to do. Thank you. Because that gave me the motivation I needed to get something that was mine, that nobody could take away from me. So over, I want to say about a year and a half, I was struggling. I was really struggling. I couldn't work, couldn't do nothing with my son. Daycares couldn't handle him. So I was like, I need something that's mine. So I opened up my business, Kids Creation Nation. And I was like, I'm going to start there. You know, let's start with something small. So I started with rolling trees. I was like, then I had a supervisor when I started working at T-Mobile. She was like, can you do me a cup? And I was like, I never did cups before. She said, I don't care, do me a cup. And I was like, okay. So I did a cup. Came out good. I was like, hold on, I might be on to something. And then she was like, hey, you ever did a shirt? I was like, I ain't know. She's like, well, I tell you about that. She was like, do the shirt. So I started messing around, tinkering. First time it was a complete disaster.
Right.
I had
always.
I had the material wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? I was like, this is not working out. I was like, let me try something. I said, let me watch a couple of videos. So I was like, oh shit, that's what I did wrong. I just had the material flipped the wrong way. I was like, okay, let's try this again. So I did again. I was like, dang, I'm getting good at this. I was like, well, let's move on to something different. Let me try a hoodie. Try a hoodie, aced it. I was like, well, you know, and I started off with resin first and just iron on. Then I met somebody and she was like, you do symbolization? I was like, no, I don't do that. I said, I don't even know what that is. She was like, the same thing you doing, except it's a different way. And I was like, what you mean? And she sent me a picture. I was like, that's cool. I said, I can't do that with just vinyl and resin. She was like, I know, you gotta get the ink.
And the Cricut machine comes with it?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so this one is it's basically it's like the liquid ink for the printer instead of the ink cartridges.
So show the world what you got.
So okay, this one is no love, all hustle, because we gotta hustle.
That's dope.
And basically what I did was I print the image out and I just wrap it, put it in the heat press, and the ink deposits on the copy.
ETS.
And then this was a Mother's Day one design. And then like basically you just change your colors. You change the color and everything, so it's just different. And then this right here is heat vinyl. So crooked, you cut it out, and then, you know, you do that. And this is also vinyl as well on the shot glass. And all you do is heat it up, and it sticks like magic. But this here is resin. So it works a little different. So as you can see, you can print the image on it and seal it up. But it's not all connected. Versus this, the image is one.
Right.
This is all separate pieces that I just.
I like this. I ain't gonna lie. This you said the rolling, right?
And it glows. This set glows in the dark.
What?
Yeah, it's blue. It's. I got a picture of it. I got you.
I got some connections for you.
So
yeah, I got you.
Listen, and so I even do jars too.
Okay.
So usually a jar.
Do you wholesale these?
I can.
So
I have never tried wholesale.
So someone said like I need 100 orders of these made and shipped to my store, my business store.
I'll do it.
Okay, I got
so I actually have my big wholesale order from Military Magnet. Shout out to them.
Nice.
They ordered their senior shirts for me.
Okay.
So I'm currently doing that as well. But that was my biggest order for shirts. Right. It was 80 shirts. And I was like, I didn't know about this now. Because before they hooked me up for the cheerleading. I was like, well, if, 10 shirts, they ain't nothing, right. Get them out the door, And then I did a couple of shirts, Uno out, senior shirts. With the Uno cards that say 2023 on it. So it was nice, and still it wasn't that large. So I was like, at first I was like, should I back away? But I was like, how would I know if I'm ready if I never rise to the occasion?
Right.
I don't give myself a chance. I'd rather say I attempt and I failed than just say I failed.
Right.
Because I didn't try, and then I live my life in regret. So yes, I am definitely open to the opportunity. I love a challenge.
Yes.
Listen, I'm the only child, so you always gotta hold your own when you in public. I ain't got, I got some cousins, right. But I ain't got nobody with me, to be like, all right, we fighting, we fighting about. No, it's like you on your own. You gotta stand your ground. So I'm definitely always equipped for a challenge.
So now since you're getting these bigger orders and there's more coming in soon, how would you think you will grow your business? Like, is it hiring an assistant, hiring someone that has the same passion of you, or?
I would say I am going to eventually have to hire an assistant. My mom just told me that the other day because I was in the house scrambling. She was like, do you need an assistant? And I was like, I'm starting to think I maybe do. Like, I really need somebody to deal with my dates and times. Because not only am I working full time, dealing with appointments with my son, and then also, doing this, I'm actually creating an art. But I'm actually creating an art, bookkeeping, taxes, my invoices, balancing things.
Copyrights.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's just so frustrating. And I'd be like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I need to breathe. And then I get back to it. And every time I be like, oh, I'm going to just take a day. And I'm going to relax. My phone is ringing. All I see is cha-ching, ching. I got to get back to it because I'm hungry. And it's something that Steve Harvey said. He was like, your dream never matches your bank account.
That's true.
And I am a dreamer. I am really a dreamer. I see exceeding things from me.
What's your birthday?
July 12th.
Okay. That's a
Cancer.
Cancer. Okay.
So I just see more for me. Like, some people are like, oh yeah, I'm okay where I'm at. No, I ain't comfortable. Yeah. I ain't comfortable by far. I mean, I could be content, but I choose not to settle. Right. So I want more. I want to grow. So eventually, I know I'm going to have to get an assistant. Eventually, if I do find somebody who has a passion for art and creativity, because my motto is bring your imagination to life. Because we all have things we see in our mind that sometimes we just want to put it on something to remind us. And I wish I had a mental breakdown cup, and I have an affirmation cup. Both are sublimation, and it's so crazy because a young lady who I went to high school with, she was like, hey, can you do this mental breakdown cup with me? And I'm looking at that and I'm like, Jesus, this is a lot of phrases and stuff on it. And she was like, and as I was typing it up, I was like, hold on, she may be on to something, because sometimes people do need to be reminded that it's okay not to be okay. Right. You have to have that grace. You have to give yourself grace all the time. So I was like, yeah, so if I find somebody with that passion for art and who wants to learn something new, I'm down to teach them.
Nice.
I'm down.
Nice. And you're a big advocate for autistic, and autism in America and in South Carolina. So tell me why and what events that you plan to do more of in the future?
Yeah, of course. So I'm big on it because my son has autism, and it took us a long time to get him diagnosed because his cognitive skills are off the wall. I'm talking about he was 2 years using a power drill, putting a bed together. He can look at something and he will repeat it, and you be like, oh my God. But he has the sensory aspect of it, so that makes him on the spectrum. So it took a long time for him to, actually get diagnosed. And I'm talking about, I went to maybe like 5 different places. Right. And I finally got him diagnosed with Child Fine. Shout out to y'all. And it was like, oh yeah, he's on the spectrum. I was like, thank you. Because I'm talking about daycares. I've never heard of daycare kicking a child out of daycare or suspending them. I'm talking about daycare after daycare, like, oh, we can't deal with him, And every now and again, he get one teacher, but always something happen, and they're out. And I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna go right. And it was just to the point that I got frustrated. And then once he got diagnosed and we got him, start getting him help and stuff, and it started being a little bit easier. It's still hard. So we'll go places and he have tantrums and I have to talk to him. Right. Or it could be something as simple as we go to Walmart and his toy is not there. That he had an idea that he wanted a pirate ship and they don't got no pirate ships. Yeah. And I'm telling him, okay, we gotta leave. Oh, it's all out, Yeah. And it's like you have to give him a option, I'd be like, okay, so you want me to order you a pirate ship or you get another toy? And he'll be like, pirate ship. And I'd be like, okay, let's go, And he recently started talking probably like last year, November. He wasn't really big on words. Right. So his speech is getting a little better. But I really want to advocate for other people, who have kids like this. Because other people, when they walk by and they see a child have a tantrum, the first thing, oh, she don't discipline her child. Oh my God, that's bad behavior. Oh, I would have cut not realizing that, hey, it could be something wrong with this child, And hey, it's certain things she has to do. You got to take things in stride. It could even be as simple as him not wanting to play with other kids. And I've seen kids, I wouldn't say antagonize him, but I see kids constantly, seeking for a reaction. Like, they keep on messing with him. And he could be in his own corner, playing with toys. And they'll deliberately come up there, take toys just to see a reaction because he's by himself. Right. And it's like, we don't teach our kids to respect boundaries, because sometimes as adults, we don't respect boundaries. And sometimes when we go in public, I've seen people, family members, they'll see, somebody with dwarfism, and they'll laugh, and I'm like, what you laughing for?
This dwarfism?
Dwarfism, Yeah, so it's like, it's certain things, it's like... I said it wrong?
No, dwarfism is mini-me's, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
like so, juicy.
Juicy, yeah. Yeah, so it's like, it's certain people that don't understand, different people are being different because everything is not about looking different. Okay. Sometimes we think different, and a lot of people don't understand kids with autism. Yes, they lack things in a lot, but a lot of them have a lot of incredible abilities. Yes. And especially now I've seen more people, adults coming out who have autism, like the doctor, and I'm like, oh my God, he's a doctor. Even the movie Accountant, that movie, I cried. I ain't gonna lie, I cried only because he had autism. Even though he was, he was a man, everybody gotta make a living, but it's like nothing is excluded. It's like there's no limit to what we can do. Just because we can't excel in one area, that does not mean we can't move on to the next. Right. And so I'm offering a full profit. So basically all proceeds from my business. And then next month I'm opening my sign-up business. I'm gonna do a clothing line called Exceptionally Made. And it's gonna be basically the full profit, because I didn't want to do a non-profit. Even though it's nice to have people invest, I'd rather have all the control in my hands. So I dictate where I want it to go at. And so basically what the full profit is, we're going to be offering support to parents and families with kids who have disability, because it's overwhelming. And a lot of people don't understand, because I can call my homegirl and I'd be crying and she'd be like, what you crying about? And I'd be like, you don't understand, it's overwhelming. She can't offer me words of comfort because she has no idea what I'm going through. And also, we need a break sometime. Like, I know sometimes with certain, Social Security and stuff, once they finally do get you in there, they'll give you like, It's like a placement. Basically, if you want to go out of town and you want them to watch your kids, they'll do it for you. You know?
Family support, like a mother support.
Yeah, basically. So it's like, I forgot the name of it. But basically what they do is, let's say you're going on a trip and your child can't go on that trip. They can place them with a foster care family who specialize in helping special needs kids, and they'll watch them while you go. Or if you need somebody to come sit at the house for a couple hours, they can do it. But let's be honest, everybody don't feel comfortable with everybody around their child, regardless of what degrees, certifications you have. It does not matter. Sometimes people just don't feel comfortable. And I know a lot of people be like, oh no, my child is aggressive. You know, that's one of their parts to the spectrum is aggression. So I don't feel comfortable because I know somebody else could get hurt. Well, that's fine. So since we all parents and we all in this together, how about let's all do something for the kids? And while the kids playing, we watching, but we talking. We supporting each other. We uplifting. We talking about what we accomplished, what got better, how we changed the shift. You know, things. If you are in that state where you are breaking down, call us. You know, let us bring you back. Because sometimes you need a voice to bring you back off that ledge.
That's true.
And everybody don't have that. So for me, it was luckily my homegirl. Since her son has autism and he's a lot older than my son, so I'm just stepping in this and she been in this. So it's like she's my voice that brings me back off the ledge a lot of time. So I was like, I don't know if I'm strong enough to deal with this. And she was like, you know you strong enough. And I was like, I know, but like right now, you know, she was like, you're not frustrated at him, you're frustrated at other people.
Right.
You know, and I'd be like, you're right, but why can't they just understand? She was like, everybody ain't raised like us. You know?
Like, hey, he gotta do it while he ain't doing it.
Yeah, you know, like, and that's how I am. And for me, I call myself normal. You know, I'm ordinary. You know, my son is exceptional. That's why his business is exceptionally made. And these kids are exceptional. So we're ordinary. They're the exceptional ones. And I just feel like we just have to make sure we educate as much as possible.
Correct.
Because even though we have, like, last month was Autism Awareness Month. Even though we post stuff, we have walks and stuff like that, we ain't got no support. You know? Yeah, the state give us the money. Yeah, that's cool. They give us, you know, therapy. That's cool. But what about our mental health? Like, we don't have nothing for that. And we really need it.
So you brought up a good point. Like, I'm dyslexic. I kept my money backwards, and I read backwards too as well. So with that, I found out I work in small groups. So when I was in school, when I was in bigger classroom, I can never focus. You know, I can look at the teacher, hear what she say, but don't comprehend until actually I go to like a 3. They put in like little smaller classes. You know, or the teacher assistant come, pull certain kids out. I'll be with them, me and 2 other people, and I'm all-star. I'm catching things just like that. But like I realized is that like I had to really hone in, the way I work, either small groups or by myself. So I lock myself in the room, turn the TV off. It's just a little lamp and a thing in front of me. I got some music playing, so I also read with music and focus with music too as well. And that's how I grow and learn myself. Then I turned that into like, okay, what is something I always love to do? Every time I picked up something, or every time I see myself in my younger self in a photo, I'm always picking up a camera. Always doing something technology or engaging in talking to the older folks, things like that. That was me. And with that, basically that focus level I had with lecture, mass focus, and in one focus area, this interview, talking to people. I love talking, and like with that, you know, once you realize, once you figure out what your son really likes to do, what he's naturally gifted at with that other spectrums around him, are you gonna hone into that skill? Like, say you see him solving a math problem, those kids his age can't even do.
So actually, he already has the skill. He loves the boat. So we buy him blocks, magnet tiles. I love the magnet tiles. I don't know who invented them things, but they hit it on the money. I'm talking about they better than blocks. I can step on them, my foot don't hurt. Like, I don't care how much you got. You got them all around the house. I'm fine. You know, them Legos, they something serious when you step on them. Listen, that put a pain in your soul. But he likes the bow. And I honestly think, because now he watches this thing on YouTube where they have tanks on them, like military tank. I said, oh, I know what you're going to do. You gonna be building a tank. And I said, you building a car? He said, no. I said, you got a tank? Yeah. No, okay. Well, you know, but he really likes the bow. And he's, I would say I'm good with my hands. I'm really good. My stepfather, he was in the Coast Guard, and he's engineering. So when he came around, he noticed that I'm a girly girl. I'm putting on my nails, but if I gotta get my hands dirty, I'm gonna get it. If I gotta put a towel on the ground, lay on my back, and go under my car, I'm gonna go under my car and I'm gonna do it, because I'm the type of person. It's about not waiting. I'm gonna do it, and so I'm really good with my hands. My mama, no, so she gonna sit behind the desk. She ain't with it, you know. Right. And my son's father, he's an electrician. He lights the fish, he build houses, things like that. So my son is really, really good at building things, and I've had to learn, because one day he just really astonished me. We were watching the Legos Ninja Needle thing, and they have like this little platform for all the elements, and he built the platform and put one of his little Lego men on each of them. And I just sit back and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I really had to just say, what? Like, this is crazy. And then I was like, and one day he was like, car? And I was like, where in the car at? And he pointed down and he built a car. I was like, what the hell? I said, well, I need you to grow up. We need a house, baby. I need you. You can go ahead and build your mama anything. So he really likes to build. So right now, what I do for him is, you know, even though you gotta be really careful what they watch on YouTube, and the language they pick up, things like that. But I really do let him watch those videos. I'm sorry, world, but I really let him watch those videos with tanks and stuff, because I know in his head it's not about the violence or the destruction or anything.
He's looking at the way it's built, how it looks. Yeah, and he's just mimicking, and it's like, what the hell? And you know, you really got people like that can look at something and draw it. You got people looking like that, they can read something and they can repeat it verbatim. Math, you know, they can. It's like they got the numbers in their head, you know, and that's all I can do. So as he get older, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be in STEM and robotics competition and things like that, which is cool. But he's also on the athletic side too. He can run. I don't know where he get them legs from, but little boy can run. And so I can just see us doing a lot with him. But I think my biggest thing is instilling in him what my mom instilled me. You can do anything you want. I ain't gonna tell you can't do something. I don't care if you started and you quit the next day. I'm not gonna ever tell you can't do anything. So that's the motto I take with him. Anything you desire to do, go ahead, do it. Go ahead. And I'll be, mama gonna be there. Go, baby, go. You know, like, you know, as long as you ain't doing nothing that's hurting yourself or other people, I'm down with it. Correct.
You know?
Nice. So where do you see yourself in your business 5 years from now, and how you want to grow the word of basically creating basically like an autism group here in Charleston, and possibly like different events for like autism children, as in like a robotics event, you know, a robotics or like a festival for kids, or even like you say, a kid like to run. Maybe there's some sports programs where a sport event throughout the summer, one day and picking at this area right here.
And host a fundraiser for them to run. So for my business itself, and this is me because I dream, like I said, I dream big. I see myself worldwide, not just statewide. You know, I want to be international, because one of the things I do expound on is I don't want you to have the same thing as something else. So even if somebody buys this cup, the next person ain't gonna have the same design. They may have the female, they may have the words, but it's not gonna be the same exact design, because we are all different. So I really want to take that international, because a lot of businesses, like you said, they look for stuff wholesale. That's different, because I know, for example, let's say Holiday Inn don't want what Motel 6 got, because they're not on the same caliber. But at the same time, we do what matches our budget, you know. So Holiday Inn and Motel 6, they ain't gonna have the same budget, you know. So I want to make sure I can make things not only affordable but accessible for any and everybody. So definitely international, 5 years. We making big plans. And for my for-profit, I also want to take that international, because it's not just something that's South Carolina based, though a lot of people in the world don't know about it. So my starting platform, and like you said, that is something that that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Having a fundraiser, letting the kids run, having a carnival or something just to bring awareness, because one thing I've always learned is people are going to show up for kids. If they don't show up for nothing else, they're going to show up for kids. So, our kids are our future.
Right.
And that's just plain simple. Yeah, somebody else's kid is my future. The kids, it takes a village. And a lot of people, we have forgotten our village. I've noticed that. A lot of people have forgotten that it takes a village to raise the child. And I had to realize that because I went from living back the green side to living on Johnson Street side. And from me growing up to what I saw on Congress Street growing up, I could run outside. Ain't nobody in my family outside. But Miss Chucky down the street see me, and she on the porch.
Right.
And she yelling, "Don't make me call Doris." Oh Lord, let me act right, And from what I seen on living on Johnson Street, I've seen kids messing with people, cars, kicking people's cars. And not only are their parents outside, but the older generations outside, and they just looking like, out of sight, out of mind. And I'm looking like, that's not how y'all was raised.
Right.
So why y'all raising these kids like this? I understand not letting everybody, discipline your child. Cool, that's granted. Because you don't know what type of mental health, and they might not be doing stuff to discipline, they may be doing it to harm. That's cool. You don't got to put your hands on somebody's child to discipline them.
Yeah, but a little yell can
just put a little spark in them.
Yeah.
Because I've known everybody has been doing something, and it could be not somebody or something that was actually directed to you, but somebody just make a loud noise. And you ain't doing something right, so you jump, and you like, oh, they wasn't talking to me. But you stopped doing what you was doing. Yeah, let me go ahead. And sometimes that's what it takes, And I believe not only, but just the autism spectrum, but kids in general, we have to find things for them to do. Because just sitting in the house, it ain't gonna cut it. Yeah. And I understand everybody, you don't want your kids out and about, that's cool. But hey, bring them to an event where they can learn something from. Bring them to an event that you never know. Right. That might spark something in them. Because like I said, the child may not have a disability, but they may see something that they like just like you said, robotics and STEM. A child may come and be like, oh, I can do that, Or, oh, they inspired me to do that. Or I've been looking at videos for a long time about this. Let me go ahead and start doing this. Mom, I want to do that. And we can start to shift focus, especially with a parent support group. It's not necessarily about what we feel our children should be doing. It's about what they want to do. Because we can't live through our children. And it backfires every time a parent tries to do, Regardless if your child is normal, has a disability, it does not matter. We cannot live through our kids. And sometimes we force our children to do things that they don't want to do. Because it could be a child that may come to an event, like a running event, and then like, oh, I want to advocate for this group, And it's like, oh, it sparks something. Or they may be like, oh, can I help out in some way? Something as simple as that. So my main goal with that is definitely just pushing it 5 years from now, also international. Pushing it, so support groups around the world, definitely just not only bringing awareness, but comforting each other.
Right.
Unity.
Nice. So how can someone, where can someone go to purchase your products, and how they can reach out to you, as a big sister or mentorship?
So Facebook is most convenient for me. I'll give you a business card. I got some in the car. But Facebook is the most convenient. I got 3 Facebook pages. Don't judge me. One is business. It's called Karen Nation.
Spell it out.
Karen Nation Nation. And then my other 2 pages are my government name. It's Karen Haynes. Last name Haynes. And you can't miss me. I'm Black Karen. So nice. I stand out, and hopefully definitely change the stigma behind that name too, by doing it. But yeah, just message me, inbox me. I do a lot of reels and stuff, so if you see the reels with the trees and stuff, it's me. Nice.
And what are some words of wisdom for the world that you live by?
Hungry. Stay hungry. Because if you're hungry, you're never full. Because if you ever know, so when you get full, you get the itis. You want to sleep. You want to rest. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. Stay always want to eat. Now, I'm not saying don't take a moment and look at your plate and say, you know, this is where I came from and this is what I have now. You got to give yourself grace and always give yourself time to absorb where you were compared to where you at now. Because it could be a whole lot worse. If you started from one place and you move up one step, that's progress. Anything is progress. So definitely always take that time, but stay hungry. Stay hungry. Always looking for a plate.
Okay.
Eat.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. It was a great interview. And thank you. You got Instagram as well, or?
I got Instagram. My Instagram, I don't want to lie to y'all, because I don't be on Insta like that. And I believe my Instagram is still my college nickname. They used to call me Charleston in college. Let's go. All right, so my business Instagram is KAYS_creation, CREATION_nation, NATION. And then my regular page is gonna be Charleston. Charleston_NBC18.
Nice. Well, thank you so much again. This is a great interview.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
It's perfect.
That's cool.